Before we went on.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Coffee and Conversation, the weekend edition of Over It. I'm here with Julie Roginski, Tara Setmayer, and all of our mugs. Chosen for this morning.
And Kitty. I have Kitty.
And Back to the Future.
Back to the Future shirt.
That's great. Yes. Listen, I'm all about my nostalgia. I'm 50 now. I stretch, I kick, and
I stretch. Julie, are you wearing anything? Are you wearing anything on your shirt today?
I'm not. I'm bored.
No, just wearing a cardigan. Yeah.
I got out of bed. I don't know, 15 minutes ago.
Nice.
So it was unshowered.
Oh yeah, this is like I'll wear a hat.
I pulled out the first thing that I could find, but that's.
Mm-hmm. I know. I'm like, I grabbed my Skinny Atlas sweatshirt out of the.
Nice.
Ooh, Atlas. That's such a pretty place.
Listen. I think that we should do a group field trip to the Finger Lakes and Seneca Falls. Make a stop in Skinny Atlas. Go to the wineries. Like, I'm just saying.
Great Rieslings up there. It's beautiful.
I feel very left out. I didn't put on a baseball hat today.
It's because your hair looks good.
Yeah, exactly. You can get away with it. But I was very purposeful in the hat that I wore today.
I can't see what it says. What does it say?
Chaos coordinator.
Oh, chaos coordinator.
Because Michelle knows, but there's been a lot. So I am
been wild
chaos coordination here. Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I feel like I need to move to New Zealand or something. It's like it's just a lot. I want to go.
Well, I'm all for it. And people who follow me for years know I'm a huge, huge fan of New Zealand. It's my second favorite place in the whole world next to Italy because it is beautiful. You talk about Narnia, Central Jersey being Narnia because that doesn't exist. But New Zealand is legitimately Narnia.
I would argue that Central Jersey is legitimately Narnia. I guess I'd be the only one here because Michelle doesn't care.
Yes.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
And speaking of Jersey, you guys, so I have this column in the Star Ledger, which is a newspaper in New Jersey, every week. And I did something, Tara, that might get me banned from ever setting foot in New Jersey.
Oh, no.
What?
I went public with this thing in my column. It's going to come out on Sunday, so I'll give you guys a preview for those of you from New Jersey.
Ooh.
So Jack Ciattarelli, who's the Republican candidate for governor.
Jack Ciattarelli. Sorry.
Is hitting Mikey Sherrill, the Democratic candidate for governor, for a quote that he's taking out of context, saying that she thinks pork roll is gross. Which, if you're
I saw this.
Oh, right.
There's this whole controversy. Is pork roll gross? Is pork roll gross?
No, it's pork roll versus Taylor ham. First of all,
well, no, the controversy is that she said pork roll is gross.
That is but the Jersey controversy is always the pork roll versus Taylor ham name.
Taylor ham.
I went on the record.
Like cuffs in Jersey.
I went on the record in my column saying that although Mikey Sherrill did not say pork roll is gross, I was going to say it for the rest of the silent majority who believes that pork roll is in fact gross / Taylor ham. I think it's disgusting.
Oh no!
I don't want to put that shit in my mouth. And
oh my God,
that's what
you
said.
I'm leaving. I'm taking my Jersey Girl cup and I'm leaving.
I know. So if you go through the Lincoln or the Holland Tunnel to get into New Jersey, if there's a terrorist attack, they have these gates that all of a sudden go down so it doesn't flood Lower Manhattan. I don't know if you know this. I mean, they've never been deployed because obviously.
No, thank God, not even.
What?
Yes.
Yes,
but
I did not need to know this.
Hey, those gates are coming down for me. I am never going to be able to set foot across the river.
I don't think we can be friends anymore.
I know.
I thought we were good on the skunk and gasoline smell.
No, I'm not good with you on the gasoline smell.
Oh yeah, but skunk, right? Skunk, yeah.
You're on the skunk, but I can't.
I can't. This hurts my heart to hear.
I know. I'm a sausage, egg, and cheese girl. Just give
That's my husband's favorite. Listen, a good sausage, egg, and cheese is good too. But there's nothing like a Taylor ham, egg, and cheese on a hard roll.
My
with
husband agrees with you, and I think it's gross. My husband is literally putting his arm from across the room right now listening to this, but I got to tell you, that shit
Is he on the same page, or is he a Taylor ham guy?
What do you call it? Taylor ham or pork roll? Taylor ham.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you know where my husband's from? Central Jersey, Union County.
It doesn't exist. Listen, listen, I can be accepting of people from South Jersey as long as they call it Taylor ham.
Sorry, everybody who's not from New Jersey clearly.
I know, we're sorry. And listen, shout out to JoJo.
Tara just insulted me in ways that I thought was really. There was no reason to go there for Tara.
Oh my God, it's so funny. Well, in solidarity with my other Jersey girl sister JoJo, who is the reason why she's not here, guys, is because she's on soccer mom duty in the fall. So her daughter plays soccer on Saturday mornings, and it conflicts with the show. So that's where JoJo is. But if she were here right now, she'd be backing me up on this, Jules, and you know it.
Yeah, because she comes from a part of New Jersey that might as well be like Montana. Like,
oh my God, it's beautiful out there in Hackettstown.
You know what? You know who had a house out there? He has since passed, and he has gone nuts since the last time I was there. But where JoJo lives, that whole area, it really does look like Montana. Lou Dobbs. Remember Lou Dobbs?
Oh yeah.
God, yes.
So Lou Dobbs and I used to, when he was at CNN back in the day, I used to go to the show all the time, and he and I used to be tight. And he invited me to this party that he had on his incredible horse farm, not far from where JoJo lives. And I'd never really been up there before.
Yeah.
And I pull up, and there are literally horses running, like it's like out of like a Budweiser commercial, except they're not Clydesdales.
Yeah.
Like, running like this property, and I was like, "Are we in New Jersey? Like, what is going on?"
It's so beautiful out there. That's why when people try to say that New Jersey is the armpit of America, I'm like, fuck off, okay? Have you ever seen it? New Jersey's so much nicer than just the little 6 square miles of the port and the airport, or 10 square miles of that, and the refineries that you see on the turnpike. Like New Jersey is everything: mountains, horse farms, farmland, and the beautiful shore. So that's shout out to JoJo, the beautiful parts of New Jersey, which is most of it. And so moving on.
BJG,
real quick about Lou Dobbs. Lou Dobbs was one of the first people when he was at CNN to feature me on air when I was advocating for my Border Patrol agents. That whole case that I talk about a lot, the Ramos and Compion border agent case. His show was one of the first shows that featured this and followed it, and would have me on all the time to talk about that case over the 2 years that I advocated for them to try to get that presidential commutation and pardon for them. And so I became very good friends with his producers and all those folks over there at CNN back in whatever that was, 2007, 8, 9. And then to see him turn into what he turned into, like so many other people, was just like,
it's sad. And it's weird because he was the first. He was the first on this anti-immigration kick.
Yeah, he was.
Anything else? He was at CNN. Gosh, he got him fired from CNN. Like he was going nuts on undocumented migrants.
Yeah. Which now I know why he featured that story. And it was kind of like, in hindsight, I was like, geez, here we are.
Whoa, stop talking. PJG, Newark is the armpit. I will defend Newark, New Jersey.
No.
Newark is having a massive renaissance. They're having like huge development.
Yep.
And it is totally gentrifying, which I don't know if it's good or bad for people who've been living there all along.
Yeah, that's a different discussion,
but no, the last time you should go check out Newark.
Yeah, downtown Newark, especially where like the Prudential Center is, the New Jersey Arts Center, the Performing Arts Center.
Oh yeah, I went to New Jersey PAC? Is it NJ PAC or something like that?
Yeah.
I went to a concert there a couple years ago to go see Lake Street Dive. Had a lovely time.
You go a couple blocks over from the train station, and you have like Down Neck Newark, which had all like, that's where when I was a kid, I spent a lot of time there. My mom's before she met my stepdad, one of her longtime boyfriends was lived down there. Italian. It was a big Italian neighborhood and Portuguese there. The food was amazing.
Oh yeah.
And oh my God. And a lot of the Italian culture that I grew up around was down there. Actually, not in Paramus.
So I went to
there.
remember we went to the Who concert in New York, maybe like
changed a lot now, though.
Yeah, I went to
you
the
went to the
Go ahead.
Prudential Center, right?
Yeah, at
Yeah.
the Rock. And I met up with an old friend who is a huge Who fan, and whenever the Who come around, he'll always text me. He'll be like, "Hey, are you going to the Who show?" And typically I am. So he's like, "Let's meet up for a drink." And I think I texted you guys this. Everybody knows I don't get along with Phil Murphy all that well, the governor of New
Right.
Jersey. And I walk into this random bar / restaurant in Newark, and I walked past the table, and it didn't even occur to me that it was Phil Murphy because I haven't seen him in so long, and like I think I've blocked him out of my mind. And it was Phil Murphy, and he and I think kind of looked at each other, and I just kept walking because I didn't even compute
Awkward.
the look of horror in his face because obviously I'm like he has a dartboard with my face on it. Not sure why. Well,
Wait, are you serious?
No, but he
No.
probably,
Okay, I was like, wait, what? You said it in a way that I was like, oh, you seem very confident that
No,
exists. But okay,
I mean, he loathes me because I held him to account on his bullshit NDA
yeah,
stuff.
men usually don't like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But anyway, so that was my last sojourn to Newark, but he was just hanging out there with his wife and I think his kid. It was very strange. Anyway,
I mean, listen, I have very fond memories as a kid spending time in Down Neck, Newark, and just, that's again part of my strong Jersey roots and made me who I am, and being exposed to all of that. And Nasto's Italian Ice is still one of my favorite places in the whole world, and it's that area has changed a lot.
Yeah.
And now a lot of the old Italian delis and stuff that we used to go to, I used to get like the most amazing salami and mortadella and like mozzarella on semolina bread sandwiches with roasted peppers, and oh my god, I'm like salivating now. But a lot of those places are gone. But Nasto's was still there the last time, at least within a couple years ago. And anytime I would get a chance to go down there, if we went to a show or something, I'd have to go to Nasto's and bring back a quart of the best. They'd have like real chunks of lemon in their Italian ice. Like it's so
not a big Italian ice fan. Got to be honest with you.
I love it. I love it. Love it. So
I'm not a big pork roll person. I really am getting kicked out of New Jersey very
yeah,
soon.
you're like, I mean,
my credit's gone. Yeah, I'm super.
Anyway.
By the way, I'm super hungry and I just ate some chocolate covered almonds for breakfast. My diet has been, I've got. Do you guys go to Trader Joe's?
Love it.
Not as much anymore. No.
So a little further from where we live now, so it's kind of like I have to be very purposeful to go to Trader Joe's. But if I want flowers for like my house, that's where I'll go, because they have the best fresh flowers and they have the best chocolate covered almonds. My husband loves them. The coconut ones.
So my husband turned me on to this thing because he's a big Trader Joe's guy. These little like handheld ice cream cones. They're like this big, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I eat. I eat like 3 of those for breakfast. Like I have become that person. Like this is like I don't eat food anymore. I eat ice cream cones and chocolate covered almonds.
Find your joy. If that's your joy in this, find it.
Know, but maybe like I should start thinking about, I don't know, my health.
Yeah, like, nutritional value.
Some people give up heroin. I eat Trader Joe's ice cream for breakfast. Like it's completely disgusting. Because I'm eating it.
Do you like quiche? Do you like quiche?
I make my own quiche, which is not bad.
Okay, because I was gonna say Trader Joe's actually has these little mini quiches that are pretty good that you can
the little frozen ones with the little.
They have both.
Oh, those are good for parties and stuff. Yeah,
those are so good.
They have those, but they also have ones that are like this, like little personal ones. They're about that big. That really? Come in like spinach and mushroom, and like they have a couple of, they have a quiche Lorraine. It's really good. So if you ever like don't feel like making your own quiche, their quiches are pretty good too.
Good to know. Okay. Well, now I'm starving and I don't have.
I know. Well, we're going to have brunch with some of our friends because all of us, we need to. It's been such a heavy week for so many of us, and that's why I think it's good that we're light with the show today, because there's just so much that this week has been a lot, and so it feels good to just be able to decompress a little bit, because it's.
Do you guys know how I decompress now at night? This is so pathetic, but maybe not, because I write my Substack every day. And so when you're writing, you're like completely in this shit all the time. And then we're on this chat where, every time there's an outrage, which is every 5 minutes.
Once an hour.
Yeah, one of us would be like, "Holy shit!" Like if I had $1 for every time JoJo would be like, "This is fucking unbelievable," and you're like, it's like 5 times a day, and she's right? Because like, this is unbelievable.
Listen, everything Rosie just said. When quiche gets you going, you know you're 50. Yeah, you know.
All right.
That's
You're so right. That's true. I know.
Go ahead, Julie.
Well, we talk about that all the time, that like at 10 o'clock at night, you're like, woo, I'm past my bedtime. And meanwhile, back in the day, you're like getting ready to go out at 10 o'clock at night. Anyway, so I can't, like I have to calm down. And then my husband watches a lot of cable news, which of course gets me all riled up again. So then he goes to sleep because he has no problem going to sleep right away. And I'm sitting there like, what do I do? I'm so riled up.
Yeah.
So the only way I can go to sleep now is if I read gossip about the British royal family. Like, this has become my life. I'm like completely fascinated by like who's up, who's down. Is Harry coming back? Is Meghan on the outs? I mean, Meghan sounds like she's going to be on the outs forever, but like, it's very like. Then I kind of think like these are real people, but I kind of treat them like characters in a book, and that's literally the only way I could fall asleep. Like they put me to sleep in a good way. They calm me down. All of their nonsense.
Well, I'm nocturnal by nature anyway. Always have been since I was a kid. But the last couple weeks, I've been up till like 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. It's just because there's so much going on. I can't turn my brain off, and so I'm up. And my husband, same. He goes to bed early because he has to for work, and he can conk out with no problem. Not me. And so I don't have like insomnia. I'm just going all the time. And there's never like a moment where I'm just like, okay, I can just whatever. I try. That's why I go and buy mums like I did last Sunday. Like I have things that I do that like spots as I'm leaning into that more and more, and like we should all be talking about our spots. We have to have balance. We have to. Like I found this amazing Ethiopian coffee at the craft fair that was at one of the towns here near me. It's amazing. And when I brew it and I smell it, it brings me joy. And it's a woman-owned business, and I'm very excited to continue to patronize it. And if anybody loves Ethiopian coffee and you're in Occoquan, Virginia, go check out their shop. But it's like you just have to find joy or just decompress. For me, it's Real Housewives. I'm a Real Housewives. Like I love Real Housewives of Jersey, Atlanta, and Potomac. Now I know a couple of the people on Potomac, so I watched that with interest. And there's been some controversy in Wendy Asefo. Wendy, Michelle.
Who?
Remember Wendy Asefo? She's one of the Real Housewives. Were you with me when she? Oh, okay.
Are you a Housewives person, Michelle?
No,
she wasn't watching. No,
I have very strong feelings about reality TV.
I hate it.
Yeah.
It's not reality, but it's just an escape for me. I've been watching these shows for like 15 years, or as long as they've been on, particularly Jersey, because it would give me a sense of being back home. And
all the Jersey ones are from your neck of the woods.
Oh, I know. And they would go to places that I know and I frequent. As a matter of fact, but Wendy Asefo and her husband just got arrested for fraud yesterday or Thursday, which is awful. That's the second cast member now.
I only ever knew who the Countess was.
Oh, Luann.
Luann, just because I feel like all my gay friends. Someone just said, Michelle, maybe stop staring at your phone. Well, Kat, I produce the show and I have to load in assets and everything like that. So if you see things like being shown on the show, it's me doing it. And so, if you like being here, I'm so glad you're here. But like, not sure I really appreciate that comment. But
I'm glad you addressed it because now people will understand.
That's why I look at my phone because I produce this show. So
we don't have staff that does this. Everything you see is done in-house between one of the three of us, and Michelle always produces the show. So that's what's happening.
Goes, oh, okay, but your head down look is not the best. Well, Kat, if you want to produce your own show and not look at your phone and do things like that, listen, I've had a shitty week. I work my ass off doing about 5,000 jobs, okay, and make not a lot of money doing any of it, but I do it because it's important to me and it's mission aligned, and I show up here. It shows. LOL. You know what? I'm not going to continue to respond to this
Yeah.
person because it's starting to piss me off. But
And it's, you
and
know
I'm
what?
tired.
It's Saturday. Yeah, it's Saturday
I'm
morning.
tired. It's
Like, you don't
Saturday
need that
morning.
energy.
I will look
So,
at my phone anytime I want. How about that?
pretty
So,
much.
anyways,
So,
welcome to the
yeah,
Saturday
Kat,
show.
you have plenty of other things you could watch. So, if you don't want
Yeah.
to watch us, then have a nice Saturday.
Yeah. So,
Can I tell you about my Real Housewives argument story with the Real Housewives from Jersey
Sure.
that I
Go ahead.
literally had a screaming match with at my hairdresser? Have I ever told you that story, Julie? Have you ever heard
Mm-mm.
that?
Which Real House?
So she was a friend of the cast. Okay, many
Wait,
years
I
ago.
know some of the friends of the
Kim
cast.
D.
Who?
Kim D.
No.
Okay, so if you're an early watcher of Real Housewives of New Jersey, you know who Kim D is. She was like a friends with Teresa. She was kind of like a shit starter, and there was always a lot of conflict. She would always come in and like start problems. And she owned, I think, a boutique somewhere. And but she was like one of the villains, kind of shit starter friends. Well, back in a couple years ago, I was actually it was right before COVID hit. It was in early 2020. As people know, I go to get my hair colored in New Jersey. My good friends, they're called the Moxie twins. They own Moxie Beauty Bar and Salon. They're twins that started this amazing empire. They have like, I don't know, 30 franchises now, but they're two twin sisters. They're married to friends of mine. That's how I met them. And they're beautiful, Jen and Jamie, and they are the best colorists ever. And so that's when I started to go blonde. And so I will not let anybody else except for them or their assistants touch my hair. I literally drive from Virginia to New Jersey to get my hair colored. So how often?
Yeah.
Well, it depends. Like, I probably should go now. I got roots again, but 3 months, roughly every 3 months. Sometimes I'll let it go a little longer just because to give my hair a rest, but about every 3 months. So I try to coordinate it sometimes with my appearances on CNN. So if I'm in New York, like I'll bounce over to Jersey and do that, or go visit my family because our house is still in Paramus. So I'm in their Kinnelon salon getting my hair colored. This was right before I went to Harvard for the semester when I had my Harvard fellowship. So this was right after the Soleimani bombing, when we killed Soleimani. And so there was a question around the legality of that, right? There was like a whole question about whether Trump could do it. It was a whole thing, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm listening and I know it's Kim D. I hear she's very loud and obnoxious. And so she likes to be seen and heard. So she's going on and on about her love for Trump and how great this is and blah, blah, blah.
They're all MAGA people, these New Jersey.
Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, I know. And so, which I'm not surprised. And so she said something that was completely factually wrong and completely wrong about rules of engagement. And so I couldn't take it anymore. So I chimed in and I was like, well, actually, and I had to school her on the proper rules of engagement here and what Trump did versus what's supposed to happen. She clearly doesn't know shit about, shit from Shinola about this stuff. She's just spouting off. So then she started getting like loud with me and like to the point where it was like a full-blown argument. Now I maintained, like I didn't get out of my chair with my foils, okay, in my hair. But it got to the point where I was like, listen, sweetheart, okay, I've been doing this. I'm involved in politics for like 25 years by then, right? I'm on my way to Harvard as a fellow. Do you really want to argue with me about this? You think you know more than I do? Have at it. Have at it, sweetheart. Have at it. People in the salon were like, oh my God, she made an ass of herself. Come on.
Does she continue or does she just like keep going?
Eventually she piped down because she couldn't keep up. Like she could not keep up. And so I was just like, I made her look really, really stupid. So she just started to get louder and then was like, started deflecting into about like, you just hate Trump. You know how they go. And I was like, this has nothing to do with that. This has to do with what the Constitution says, what the rules of engagement are, what the proper rules of like, you can't just go and declare war on things without Congress. Like she didn't know. She was
like
just
bombing random fishing boats off.
Right, exactly. Like what's happening right now. So yeah, I did. And every time I go to the Kinnelon salon, people who were there for that are always like, listen, do you remember when Tara dragged Kim D with foils in her hair? I'm like, listen, there's certain things that I cannot let go. And that I wasn't going to let that go. She wasn't going to get away with spouting off nonsense. And and so, yeah.
That's interesting. I don't ever speak if somebody's spouting like MAGA stuff and I'm somewhere, I don't ever speak up because like I don't.
It depends for me. It depends. There's sometimes I can't let it go. I'll give you an example. Last night, my husband and I went to dinner at a restaurant, a Greek Mediterranean restaurant that we love down the street from our house because I needed a stiff drink and a good meal. Michelle knows why. We have had a week. And so I was sitting there and there was a table behind us and I could hear a guy talking about the militarizing of our cities. And I perked up and was like this. I was waiting for him to say something crazy in favor of what Trump is doing, because there was no way I was going to be quiet about that. There was no way. I was going to turn around and be like, you sure about that? You're okay? You think they're not going to come for you next? I was ready. I was like formulating what I was going to say if he said something crazy.
These are the kinds of conversations that I often overhear when I go home. And while I don't really like go out too much anymore when I go home, but there has been a couple times where I've been sitting at like a cafe or like a little place by the lake and I'll hear and like people shit talking New York or whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, sit back in my chair and I'm like, I love New York City. I love that I live there. I love my apartment. I was like, I grew up, and like, so Joe and I started getting like louder and louder and louder. And then it's always just some like a couple of like, boomer like jerks, we're like, oh, those cities. Then Trump, I just love him because he's getting rid of all the foreigners and we just don't like that here and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, because you've never lived anywhere where there's been a population over 500 people and any of them are like anything but chalk white skin color. Like, you know what I mean? And that's just really.
Oh, I wonder if they're Native American, because I've got news for them. Unless they're Native American, they came from foreigners.
Right. But their thing is, and this is what drives me crazy. Did you guys see this DHS? I think it was DHS posted this tweet or some sort of social media post with like make the Statue of Liberty great again or something. And
my God.
Specifically the Statue of Liberty before it went green, when it was copper colored.
Yeah,
which is the original color of the Statue of Liberty before.
Oh, it is? I didn't know that.
Yeah, the real statue.
Yeah, it was copper.
Yeah, it was copper. It's just that sea and climate, whatever, made it go green.
Yeah. It's like a patina.
Pennies turn green.
Yeah,
the original ones that used to have
It's like a patina that's kind of just over time, right?
Yeah.
Right. So the point obviously is make the Statue of Liberty the same color that it was back when in the late 19th century, when I think it was 1870 something that it was brought here. And so my attitude is like, that's their point. Their answer to everything is, when we came here, when our families came here, it was okay. But now it's gotten out of control.
Right.
They pulled the ladder up behind them and they don't want anybody.
And I told you what Tucker Carlson said to me, right? Once?
No.
Yeah. So it's a long story, but 2012, he and I are ready to go on the Air Fox. The election has just been called. Remember, Carl, the meltdown over Ohio.
I remember.
Over to the brain room, and Tucker and I are sitting with Laura Ingraham about to go on air, and Laura Ingraham is like, "That's it, fucking Chris Christie." I was like, "Chris Christie, what do you have to do with this?" She's like, "If he hadn't hugged Obama, this would have been all over, and Romney would have won." I was like, "All right, whatever."
That's not true.
I don't.
But then she leaves. I don't know where she goes. She might have. And then so it's just Tucker and me. And Tucker and I always got along really well. I mean, the funny thing about Tucker is, aside from the racism, and it's a huge aside.
Yeah.
It's like the typical, like, he's a nice guy to hang out with. And then you're like, holy shit, the guy's a virulent racist, including against people like me, which I'll tell you in one moment. So
and doesn't he like hate Catholics and stuff too? Like the list is very long.
So we started having this conversation. And I said, Tucker, you guys are stupidly, because how stupid was I? I go, Tucker, you guys are never going to win another election if you continue to treat Latinos like they're, bringing in guns and drugs and whatever. Little did I know.
Yeah.
And Tucker's like, but they do bring in crime. And I said, Tucker, you sound like those people in the 1920s that said the same about the Irish and the
Yeah.
Italians.
And
And, the,
Irish need not apply.
and he looks at me like I'm out of my mind. Like literally, if I was like 2 + 2 = 5, like it was. Like, he looks at me, he goes, "But Julie, we didn't have any crime in this country until the Irish and the Italians and the Poles came here." And I was like, "What?"
Oh my God.
And he goes, "The Irish with their whiskey and the Poles with their vodka and the Italians with their mafia. We didn't have crime until all of that happened." And I'm like, how old are you? And the thing about Tucker is he's just a couple years older than me. So this is 2012. So he must have been mid-40s tops.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm going to make this up. He goes, "I'm 44. I don't know how old he was." And I go, "I have legitimately never met anybody who speaks this way." I read about it in the history books from like when the Klan used to march down the street and try to intimidate Catholics. And the reality is that I every time I'd see him, then he got a show obviously on Fox later on, and huge in the Midwest where there are a lot of Catholics.
And he spewed the white replacement theory. He let it go mainstream.
He did, but what I kept thinking about is if the people in Michigan and Ohio and Illinois knew how much he disdained them because they're all Catholic, right? They're all
Yeah.
belt base. You know, you have a lot of Poles in Illinois. You have a lot, a lot of them. Obviously, a lot of Irish and a lot of Irish and Italians everywhere. And like it's crazy train. And the funny thing about Tucker is I don't know if he knew that I was Jewish, but my last name sounds like it could be Polish, right?
Right.
Like he's speaking to me as somebody whose last name is obviously not Carlson. Like he knows I'm something.
Right.
Either we never even got to the Jews and the blacks. Like
there you go.
Right.
You know it's bad if you're going after the Italians and the Irish.
Like
you don't know where he stands on the Jews and black folks. So,
and like, by the way, I said blacks on purpose because that's how he would refer to them, right?
Right. The blacks.
Black. Where's my black?
Oh my God.
So I was like, okay, I don't know if he knows that I'm Jewish, but at minimum, he probably thinks I'm Polish because of my last name. And I was like, this is crazy train. Like,
that's
what
crazy.
are we talking about here?
That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. There's a the story last night about the guy sitting behind me that was talking. He was actually on the right side. There was a happy ending.
Right. Oh, well, that's
actually on the right side of the issue. He was explaining it to the other people at the table.
Okay. Well, at least there's that.
Yes, because that's what I said. Like I perked up, and then the more I listened, I was like, "Oh, okay, he's on the right side of this." And Marcel was laughing at me. I was like, "Okay, well,
you were like ready. You were ready."
Oh my God, because he saw me. He saw me
taking your earrings off.
Like, he goes, "Uh-oh." I said, "You better not say something crazy." I said, "The mood I'm in, he's gonna get it." And Marcel was like, "Oh God," but no, he was on the right side, so I could go back to drinking my pomegranate gin martini.
The thing that's so crazy is like, I mean, yes, I'm both sides of my family obviously are long time here, but
Michelle, you are like the Tucker Carlson ideal girl, except you're not black.
But not though. I mean, but my mom's family came. I mean, my maternal grandmother's family came from Ireland like not very long ago. And, my great grandfather was an NYPD police officer in Hell's Kitchen. He walked the beat. I mean, like we are a very Irish Catholic, that side of the family too. And then my husband's dad, I mean, when we did the ancestry thing, it was like 99% Sicilian or whatever. It's like it's fresh off the boat from Palermo, and
which
and
I can confirm, by the way, because when I was in
Sicily,
Sicily,
right?
Urso, I saw that there's a busing company that runs the jitneys in the Aeolian Islands. When we were in Lipari, the little jitney bus that takes you around.
Yeah.
Michelle's husband's last name.
Michelle, you're like Sicilian royalty. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I took a photo. I said, Michelle, listen.
Apparently.
If you gotta go, Joe's got an empire here. I'm sure his family.
I know. Well, up until
it's the same last name, I was like, if this thing doesn't work out,
right? Well, up until recently, he qualified for Italian citizenship because there was something about like if your great grandfather came here and then like the grandfather wasn't naturalized until something like that, and but then they undid it. They just undid it.
because the same thing with us. So my great grandfather, there's no record. So maybe he jumped ship. I don't know, but like, so because we were looking into that for me, and I was like,
yeah, that would have been great. I was
What do
like,
you
I
guys
really,
know, I
You guys
know,
you
I'm
guys wanna
heartbroken
hear the
over it
saddest no
because
record of all? Literally the saddest no record of all. I don't know if anybody in the chat knows this guy. If you're European, you certainly knew him if you're into art, but he's not big in the United States. There was a very famous artist named Haim Soutine, whose paintings are like, if you go to any museum in Paris, they're there. Right? That is my great uncle.
what?
wow.
Wow, cool.
Well, it's not cool because
Oh,
I mean, it
just
is cool, but
kidding.
it's not cool. So he left the little shtetl where they all lived at the, I guess, the turn of maybe in the 1910s, 1920s, because apparently, and I quote, all the other brothers and his father thought he was some, and I quote, schlemiel who used to sit around painting all the time, and so therefore not a real guy. And, somehow made his way to Paris and lived in some, starving artist. Very good friends with Modigliani.
Is schlemiel a Yiddish word?
Yeah, they all spoke Yiddish.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my Jewish friends would use the schlemiel.
Yeah.
I have not heard that in a long time, and that is, I love
think it means, I think it's another word. Like, I think Yiddish has like 20 words for penis, and I think that's one of them. Anyway, penis like dick, as I used to go, but like some schlemiel. Yeah. So their words, not mine. So schlemiel, schlemazel, those are both words for penis in Yiddish, which I never understood how that worked, but okay. So, so he made it to Paris and became huge and died in 1940. And all the paintings, the French state, and one of them is worth millions. Like,
wow.
Combination. Anyway, I am the descendant, but here's the problem. When during the Russian Revolution, if you had any part of your member of your family who had gone to the decadent West, you had to destroy all evidence of it, because otherwise, like, that was a direct line into the gulag.
Right. Wow.
So my old friend, Frank Pallone, Congressman Pallone, who is a huge arts, like, he's huge into the art scene, like huge art aficionado, is like, you got to go to France. You got to dig up the body. You got to do a DNA test.
Oh, wow.
Frank, I'm like, I am not digging up any bodies and doing anything.
Right.
How sad is that? And every time I go to Paris,
crazy.
I literally, which I have a lot of family there, so I go a lot. And every time I go there, I take my son to a museum and I look at those paintings and I'm like, just one. I just need one. And then then I'd see you all later.
Yeah, you never have to worry again, ever.
That's amazing. And it's even though it's become more insidious now, but the whole 23andMe ancestry thing, now that they've have databases so they can track us all, but it was really fascinating to do all of that and find out where our roots really come from. And my great grandfather on my German side, the Setmeyers, he was a painter, and when he came over, he made a living as a carpenter, painter, whatever, and he would also paint landscapes and things like that. And we for many people who don't know, but our family home in New Jersey was ruined in a flood. We lost the house in March, a pipe burst, and the house that my grandfather built on our property we've had for 100 years was destroyed. And we lost all the contents inside, which is
awful.
very, 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 very hard for us. It's been a terrible experience. State Farm has been an absolute awful company dealing with this. It's almost killed my mom. She's like, it's been awful for us. And one of the things, we've lost so many family heirlooms in this as well. And thankfully, though, we were able to save, because my mom and my stepdad started taking my great grandfather's paintings out of that house anyway, because I wanted them, because it's very important to me that our family legacy is, because I'm the only child. So there's no sons. I'm the only one. I'm the last Setmeyer. And so it was really important to me. So thank God they were able to rescue before the flood happened. They were taken out, and we were able to save almost all of them. There were a couple small ones that we couldn't get, and with water damage and mold, and it was just, and partially because State Farm took so long to approve things, it ruined things that could have been saved, were no longer salvageable because of their negligence. And if anybody out there is an insurance attorney and wants to help us, please send me a note, because
Yeah,
it's going to be a big
seriously.
fight for our family, and we don't want to lose our property over this. It's a haul. This is something that I've been dealing with, you guys know, for the last 6 months, and it's been
Mhm.
really, 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 really hard, and it's even hard for me to talk about it now. So, but at least I have some of my great
Yeah.
grandmother's original paintings that
Yeah.
we were able to save.
I can't say I have any well, I guess there's a couple painters in my family, just hobbyists, but there's just like a quick story. I live in a very, very old building in New York City. It's what we call pre-war, with high ceilings, and it's just old, and there's a lot of people who's lived in this building for 40, 50 years. And I was told by somebody who's lived here since like the 70s, that the apartment across from us, there was a painter who lived there, and he was like a portrait artist, and he was like very eccentric, but like everybody knew him and everybody loved him. And that Khrushchev, Nikita Khrushchev, when he was in the United States at some point during the Cold War, came to our building and got his portrait done in the apartment across the hall from me.
What?
Yeah,
What? How do you leave a piece of that information out?
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Wow,
There's
that's
all
crazy.
kinds of
The
crazy
guy
shit.
would travel to Khrushchev. Khrushchev had to travel to the guy.
Mhm.
Wow.
Wow.
I have to ask my neighbors, because my neighbors who live in that apartment now, they have lived there for, I think, 25 years. And so, like, when they moved in, apparently, they were like, we used to have cocktail hour with everybody in the building, and there was stories and the whole thing. So they told me the story about this. Joe and I went over there and had wine with them, I don't know, 6 months ago or something. They were telling us the story. So I have to ask them again, like, what the specifics were and like who the artists, because they know. But they were like, yeah, like Nikita Khrushchev was here and he had his portrait done like in
Wow.
this living room. I was like, what?
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Yes. Well, there's also you have like some suspicious folks in your building that you're like very like Americans, right?
There's some Russians. I'll just
Yeah.
say
Oh,
that.
really? Oh, you never told me this. Really?
They make me uncomfortable.
Yes.
I got in the elevator once,
This
and
is
I
crazy.
literally never talked to the guy. Never talked to him. He's an older guy. He's the American. His wife is Russian, and they're always like spouting off in the lobby about Putin. We love Putin. Ukraine. We hate Ukraine. Blow it up. Blah 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 blah.
He's American. He's saying this.
Allegedly.
Well,
And
and
why-
his wife is Russian.
Why
And
is he spouting off in the lobby about this? Like, I don't have
I
conversations.
don't know. He's just did the running his mouth to the doorman, and like I'll
Oh.
look at the doorman. I'm like, what the? And he's like, I just let him talk. I was like, well, I mean, obviously you kind of have to, but like, anyway. So I get in the elevator one day, and he looks at me and he goes, "You have cats," and I was like, "Sorry." He's like, "We love cats. My wife and I love cats. We would be happy to cat sit for you anytime you want."
How does he know you have cats?
That's
I don't know.
Have you ever
right.
taken your cats out of the carrier in the elevator to take him to the vet? Maybe he saw
I
you.
mean, like, I just don't think so. I don't, not in a way that like it was just weird. It was weird. Yeah. It was
It's very weird. And
It was
just
very weird.
I saw somebody say that Michelle's living the good life. She's got a doorman. It's not like that. I've been to
No.
It's
Michelle's.
not.
This
It's
is
I
Park
live in an
Avenue.
old.
Not
Let me
like
tell you.
that.
Let me
Yeah,
tell you what. Let me tell you what. I've heard stories about this building from people who've lived here since the 70s. This neighborhood that I live in now was not nice. It was very, very dangerous up until probably like maybe 15, 20 years ago. And from what I was told, the doorman used to have a shotgun that they would keep underneath the desk in the front. And it was just like it was a rifle. And like they would have it at nighttime, and like they just always had it in case something happened. And like that's what it was like. And so just, again, like this building was built in like 1905 or something like that. And there's just a lot of buildings like this, especially with like older people.
Yeah.
It's a doorman, and he does. I mean, they have the guy do the garbage and sweep the floors and like the whole, it's not like there's a whole staff or anything like
Yeah,
that.
it's not Park Avenue. It's not it's not like, Central Park West. It's not
and
like
and honestly for me, because I've had a couple bad things happen in New York, like when I lived up in South Harlem, somebody got shot outside my building and I heard the gun go off and I heard everybody screaming and I saw the guy and the blood everywhere. It was like really awful. That was kind of, I was like, I'm never living in a building that does not have a doorman. Never again.
Yeah.
Never, never, never,
Yeah.
never,
Yeah.
never. I was like, I don't care how much more it costs. Like
there's different tiers of the doorman situation. Like I said, it's like, there's the like, almost like receptionist kind of there. Like doorman.
Take the packages.
There's like a white glove doorman at like Sutton Place. It's there's different tiers of the doorman thing. So,
yeah, no, like they help us with the packages. Like if we were coming back from a trip, they'll like help us get our bags, which is always like very sweet, and like we tip them at Christmas time. We're like very appreciative of them. And
at Christmas time, I always say,
I was like, oh God,
all your tip the people in the building for
take care of your folks. Take care of your folks.
Yeah, I mean, like doorman in New York is just a New York thing. Like
it's very.
Doormen are a New York thing, and single gender private schools are a thing in New York, which is
that's very retro.
Freaks out people anywhere else in the country.
It's kind of like people you have like landscapers that come and like do your landscaping versus like having a personal gardener. There's different levels.
Yeah.
Like that, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you've got a landscape, you have your landscapers that come and do your lawn once a week or whatever. If you have your landscaping crew, or you have like
a personal gardener who's doing like.
People are talking about the Antonia in the chat. I've never watched Only Murders in the Building.
Oh my God, the Arconia. Yeah, it's
I never watched it either, Julie. I want to.
I want to
watch it.
But that building is based on the Ansonia, which is not far from where Michelle and I both live.
Right.
And
Ansonia is down on like 70.
No, it's an 86th.
Really?
Oh, it's not based on the Ansonia. Sorry, it's based on
the name is the Ansonia. The Ansonia name is a building that's on the west side of Broadway at like 73rd Street.
You're right. But no, it's not the Ansonia. It's based on a building on 86th Street between Broadway and Columbus, the name of which I cannot remember. It's a beautiful building. It's got the port co-share thing.
Oh, yeah. Like the actual building, like the exterior that they use and the courtyard in the middle is it's a building. It's on 86th Street between Amsterdam and Broadway. And that's they're filming there obviously all the time. They use the dry cleaners next door. They use the building across the street for a storyline. And the interiors, they have a soundstage, I think in like Brooklyn or something they use to film the interiors. But it's, there again, that's an old ass building with a shit ton of history. And I remember I feel like Matt Damon bought an apartment there like a while back. I don't think he lives there anymore, but he was like looking at one. And there's like some famous people, but it's like, again, it's like one of those buildings where like people have lived there forever. And they bought their apartments like 40 years ago.
I think it was actually a rental. I think they converted to condos.
Did they?
Yeah, I think like this is a building where normal people live. Like the thing about a lot of these buildings in New York that you see, like Nora Ephron wrote a great column about one day. I don't know if you remember this. She used to live in the San Remo, which is exactly the kind of Central Park West.
I know someone who lives in the San Remo.
Bono lives in the San Remo.
Does he? We've been to the San Remo, Tara.
Oh, have we?
Yeah. The San Remo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember the party that we went to in the living room? I don't want to say it because I don't want to tell people who lives there, but like
you have been to the San
with the 19th back in February.
Oh, really?
San Remo.
That's that building?
Yeah. Bono's there. A lot of people.
Very, very. That's what I was envisioning when I was talking about white glove.
But think about the San Remo is great article that Nora Ephron wrote. I forgot for who, maybe the New Yorker. It was fantastic about how she got this rent-controlled apartment in the San Remo and she was paying like $500 a month for it. And it was this tremendous, her kids were raised there. There's a courtyard and like, it used to be in New York that you used to be able to get into.
Well, there's the Apthorpe too, which is on 79th Street.
Yeah. They used to be able to get into these incredible New York City buildings that were rent controlled for next nothing. And then obviously it got really expensive and you can't do that anymore.
The Apthorpe though, man, you can drive your car into the middle of it. There's
You
like
can-
a beautiful, that's on 79th Street
Yeah.
and Broadway. Like somebody said in the chat, actually, they're like, we'd love like an episode of taking us to places in New York City that you guys like. I'm like, I'd love to.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah. I mean,
only if we get to do a Jersey version of
Oh,
that.
of course.
I will take you guys. I will take you to Central New Jersey to prove that it exists.
Oh my god!
But only if you believe. It's like Santa. If you don't believe, you won't be able to see it. Only if you so Paris, that mayor.
Oh,
Are you gonna hop on the Polar Express version,
I'm
like
gonna
New
go
Jersey
through-
Transit into Trenton?
I'm gonna go into Trenton. No, I'm gonna go.
I have a quick little video here if people want to actually see like my little life in I kind of loaded in because I was like, well, maybe. Speaking of decompressing and old New York, so there is it is the largest cathedral by volume in the hemisphere. It's called Cathedral St. John the Divine. It is on 112th Street and Amsterdam Avenue. Martin Luther King Jr. has preached there. It was the place where Jim Henson's funeral was. I don't know if you remember when he passed away. They had his funeral on TV. That was at Cathedral St. John the Divine. And I'm not a religious person, but I love it there. I go all the time. I give them money when I have it. I go to their programming because it's just such a wonderful, accepting place. They have a gay woman as the dean right now. It's wonderful. And Harry Smith is actually a member too, and he MCs a lot of stuff. Anyways, so once a year at the feast of Francis, I think it is, they do a blessing of the animals
It's so
every
great.
year.
It's not just there. Every church does it.
Do they? Well,
Oh,
this is it's very wonderful, and I feel like I live in a Nora Ephron movie when I go there once a year to do this. I don't have an animal. Well, I have animals, but I was like, I can't bring them. They're gonna freak out.
Right.
But I just want to. There's a little video I put together with all the animals that were there, and I think it's fun. So I'm gonna play this. No. Why did it stop?
Oh no.
What's happening?
I don't know. Why did it stop?
You had a bunch of good animals. You had goats. You had everything.
Why
Is
did
that-
it stop?
Is that a snake in the background?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Hold on.
snakes don't bother me.
Really?
Bother me either.
I don't bother. I
You
think
don't bother
snakes are cool.
Oh, this is
They
a
don't bother
bummer.
me. I'm not afraid of snakes. No, spiders, forget it. Insects, things like that, or rodents. The snakes don't bother me.
Interesting. We have spiders here at our house in Pennsylvania because we're just in the country. So, like, we have a lot of they're not like crazy spiders. They just, weave their little web. And it's
We had, like, obviously I live in Virginia. We've got spiders, but during my birthday party, there was a spider. I swear to God, that fucker was like this big. That was on like the door, our patio door. It would made a web there that our friend, one of my husband's friends, he's like an amateur photographer. I shouldn't say amateur. He does photography on the side. He's a cybersecurity guy in real life, but he does photography on the side, and he likes to always like take pictures at our parties as a fun thing, because we'll do like a step and repeat backdrop for people to do goofy stuff. And my party was an 80s party, so of course it was a whole thing. So he had his camera, and literally when he sent us the pictures, he took a zoomed in photograph of this humongous spider that was weaving a web in our door, because it was just, so I'm like, what the fuck is this thing? I don't know what it was, because there are poisonous spiders here. I don't know, but they capture though the spotted lanternflies. We have an infestation.
Oh,
yes.
Spotted lanternflies. I mean, it's awful, and all like they're destroying a lot of the vineyards, and they like the grapevines, and it's just awful. So, but they're finally starting to get some predators here, and they get caught in the webs of the spiders here, and that kills them because they can't get out, and then they die. But like, I was like, I don't know what that thing is, but as long as that fucker stays outside, I don't kill spiders.
wow. So I'm going to try this one more time. Sorry, I'm going to try it one more time. See if it works.
That's where I draw the line.
It stops again. Oh, good. Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
Please bless my ass. It's like my favorite thing.
That's
I
cool.
love that. I
It's
love
so
that.
awesome
And
that, you
by
know,
the way, like who in New York City has camels or llamas or
I'm-
whatever?
I don't know
wouldn't
where
know
they
where
come
came
from, but like, and they walk them. I mean, if you can get a seat, which obviously I didn't get there early enough, they walk them down the thing and they do a whole thing. And then there's somebody with like a shovel because the horse poops, you know, and so they pick up the poop inside. But then everybody brings their pets out to the garden, and all the, I don't know, the priest people or whatever, the religious people, they have little stations, and they you know, they're like, what's the name of your pet, whatever, and they touch the pet
Oh.
and they do a little blessing. It goes on for hours. It's amazing. I love it.
My
It's wonderful.
we were actually, it was Saturday, right? Last Saturday?
Last Sunday.
Sunday, I think it
Yeah,
was.
last Sunday. Yeah. So we weren't in town, but there's a church, a Catholic church right by our house that I was gonna take my dog. I'm not even Catholic, but he needs all the blessings he can get because he's part
Yeah, yeah. This was an
And-
Episcopalian
Yeah.
establishment. Yeah.
That explains that because they're
Yeah.
a lot more open and tolerant.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
to jump, guys, but I think
Oh,
that's
yeah.
where
Sorry,
we end the
11:05.
show today. I mean, it's very, very happy. Just for folks in the chat to know, we are very tolerant of our critters and our animals. We actually use organic, when we're doing our outside spraying and things to keep stuff out of the house, we use organic. So
Mhm.
we're very tolerant, but if it comes in the house, it dies. So anyway, on that note, I gotta go. I don't know if you guys are staying or we're ending the show or what,
Yeah,
but
well-
I'm gonna go drink wine with my friends and
enjoy.
press today because we need to. I will post pictures.
Please do.
And do we have any now? Oh, one last thing, shameless plug for me. We were talking earlier about the Statue of Liberty and all of that, and I wrote a Substack on Thursday called "Dishonoring the Badge" about my personal
Oh, right.
law enforcement, what's happening in Chicago, and the image that my husband actually created for me was of a badge with a line through it and a crying Statue of Liberty. It's a disgrace happening, and the good law enforcement officers who actually respect what they do and the oath that they took are horrified by what's happening. And so I talk about that from a very personal perspective. So if you guys want to go check out my Substack, it's called Uncompromised, and read it. I encourage you all to do that. So that's my shameless plug for
I
today.
agree. I read it and it's very, very good.
Yeah.
I only thought about it because we were talking about the Statue of Liberty. And somebody also said something about copper, because we said it was. And I don't know if they were talking about when we mentioned the penny, but the penny has not been copper since 1982. Just so folks know, it's a copper zinc combo thing.
Costs more to
it has
produce
been
than it's
copper.
worth.
Yeah.
Right, because of the expense since 1982, by the way. So anyway, just wanted to correct
Hi,
that.
Tara.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you
Bye.
later.
So I guess
Oh,
there's
well,
what?
if Tara, we forgot to plug the biggest thing here. So we're going to talk about the Qatari air base in a second, but we on Monday, Michelle and I and Frederick Pogue at 8 a.m. Eastern on Monday are launching the Mayday morning show. So turn off Morning Joe.
Drink delivery.
Watch us right here on the Mayday Network. We're going to do it every morning, Monday through Friday. So this Monday, So come join us because we're going to give you the news the way it should be. And unlike Morning Joe and Mika, we've never been to Mar-a-Lago and we have no intention of going down there. So please come watch us and tell your friends. We're going to build this thing up. I'm convinced that within a year, we're going to be bigger than Morning Joe because we are actually not compromising our bullshit to bringing the news. So that's what we're doing, 8 a.m. Eastern. But if you are on the West Coast and it's 5 a.m. your time and you don't feel like getting up, which of course you shouldn't, you could always catch it later when you wake up on Mayday because it's the beauty of linear television is you actually just watch it anytime. You don't need to watch it live.
Yep.
So we're doing that. You'll see us. You're going to see us every day.
I know. I'm gonna have to transform myself into a morning person, which is you know what. But these are the things I do for love and Julie and America. So
yes,
it's all going to be great.
Yes, we're doing that. Qatari Air Base, you guys, like.
Let me. I have a couple clips here. I'm going to play that. I'm going to play this. I think this was in like 2017 or 2018. This is Trump during the his first administration.
Of Qatar, unfortunately, has historically been a funder of terrorism at a very high level. And in the wake of that conference, nations came together and spoke to me about confronting Qatar over its behavior.
Yeah. So then this is a couple days ago.
Other than President Trump could have achieved the peace that what we believe will be a lasting peace in Gaza. And Qatar played a substantial role from the beginning, working with our folks to ensure that came about. So I want to thank you for that historic peace. We look forward to joining the president as that gets, it's already been delivered, but as that's formally signed as well. And I'm also proud that today we're signing a letter of acceptance to build a Qatari Emiri Air Force facility at the Mountain Home Air Base in Idaho. The location will be host a contingent of Qatari F-15s and pilots to enhance our combined training, increase lethality, interoperability. It's just another example of our partnership. And I hope you know, Your Excellency, that you can count on us.
Yeah.
So, all right. First of all, what are we, an occupied nation? Like we're hosting other people's air bases now? That's one. Two, the Qataris still fund terrorism since Hamas is based in Doha, the capital of Qatar, and was on October 7th. Three, the other thing they're funding is clearly the Trump family, which just signed a couple of days ago, or maybe a week or two ago, a golf course proposal in Qatar. But what we don't know, and this is what's so awful about this, is how much money they're putting through Trump's crypto fund. Either Qatar directly through their sovereign wealth fund, or the emir or people close to, the governing family in Qatar. And, it's the graft and the grift. It's just breathtaking.
It's not America first. It's America for sale.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
It's the Trump family first, right? And ultimately, could you just imagine if Joe Biden said that he was putting a Hamas hosting nation's Air Force base on American soil? Could you imagine? I don't have to imagine. I used to work there. Fox News would be going live,
losing their minds
24/7.
For 4 years, Julie. It was the Biden crime family. The Biden crime family, which we all know is horse shit.
Yeah. Remember Burisma?
Oh, God. I remember having somebody who I know is a Republican trying to well, Burisma and the thing. I go, you have no idea what you were even talking about. Stop it. Stop. I was like, you vote for Trump and look at this. Look at this.
It's unbelievable. It's just breathtaking graft and grift 24/7. I mean, 24/7. And the Trump kids said it. I forgot which one, whether it was Uday or Kusei, whether it was Junior or Eric. They're like, the first term, we didn't do business and we got crap for it anyway. So now we're just going to go do it out in the open. And they are. And so's Jared, who, by the way, I love how Jared's like, oh, I'm not involved in government anymore, except he did
Yeah.
And
Okay.
let me tell you something. I don't want to belabor this whole.
Well, the New York Times giving them a little.
Oh, the New York Times. I mean, the New York Times. I don't even want to. I don't understand. But they, you know, if you want to talk about this Gaza, the lasting peace. I mean, go to my Substack if you want to read about that because I wrote something.
I don't know how people are buying this.
Who's buying this? You guys. Here's what's happening in Gaza. Like, let me sum it up in 3 sentences, maybe a little bit more. They want the hostages out.
Yeah.
As soon as the hostages are out, things are going to resume. They may not resume until Bibi's election in September, if not sooner. But it is not in anybody's interest for things to continue to be status quo because Hamas is not suddenly going to give up its weapons and sail off to Qatar. Like their entire life
Hamas is a terrorist organization. Like
organization.
that's where people keep forgetting this. I don't understand.
And in their charter, it's like, we are going to destroy Israel. And suddenly you think they're going to be like, oh, okay, no harm, no foul. We're just going to go. Right? So they're not leaving. They're not leaving. They would die before they left.
No.
They're going to continue to terrorists because that's what terrorists do.
Yes.
Israel, which is, I was just there, you know, in June, the people there are heartily sick of the war, but the cabinet and the prime minister are not. Because Bibi Netanyahu was indicted, I don't know how many counts, back in 2019. The trial is ongoing. It has been slowed down because of this national emergency over Gaza because of his schedule. The minute he's no longer prime minister and his government can collapse because it is propped up by crazy right-wingers who also want to take over Gaza and the West Bank, they're not suddenly going to be like, oh, okay, no harm, no foul on Gaza, the West Bank. Like, what? And
neither side has any interest in ending this. The problem is, and the tragedy and crime of humanity about this is the Palestinian people in Gaza are unrepresented in any way from any group of people who have their lives and their safety in their best interest.
Like united, Hamas's resistance. Hamas is not resistance.
Oh my God, what? Jesus.
You don't go into into a kibbutz that, by the way, the people living there are all peacenik guys. Like, these are not people, these are not military. These are people who actually want peace. Rape, murder, behead, burn people, bring them to Gaza, keep them in inhumane conditions for years in tunnels, and you think that's resistance? Get the fuck out of here. Okay, I'm not suggesting that Netanyahu is a good guy. I'm just suggesting that Hamas is evil.
Yeah, and the Palestinians, like my heart breaks for them because they're just trying to like survive and live their lives, but they have Hamas literally taking all of their money, all of their resources, keeping it for themselves, building tunnels, using them as human shields, while the Israelis and Bibi Netanyahu is like bombing the crap out of them, and like there's no escape for these people. It's awful. It's awful.
It's awful on both sides. It's awful for everybody. The Israelis are governed by a bunch of crazy messianic freaks and a crook. And the Palestinians in Gaza are governed by a bunch of
a terrorist organization.
And the people in the West Bank are governed by a bunch of corrupt old people who should have been gone a long time ago. And so it sucks on every level.
Many things can be true at once. It is not one or the other. This is why it's such a complicated and nuanced situation that like a lot of people are new to it. And, you know, it's awful. The whole thing is awful. And anyways.
And so, Ori, I don't know who you're saying is an anti-Semitic woman, but I'm
better not be us.
Better not be us. Because so listen, I will just say that like there's not going to be peace in our time. This deal is being done to get Trump to go out there and say
Ori's saying I'm anti-Semitic. Got it. Great.
Why is Michelle anti-Semitic? Michelle is the biggest Ori,
I'm like one of the biggest champions for like Jewish people, but you know what?
Ori,
you're getting blocked.
Banned.
Ban user and delete comments. There you go.
I
Bye.
don't mind debating this stuff, but I do mind the completely ridiculous name calling, which could not be further from the truth. So once you come back and want to talk about the issues, I don't mind having a debate. I just mind the name calling.
Mhm.
So look, again, this is what Mayday is about.
Mhm.
Always open to debate, but the earth is round. It's not
Yeah,
flat.
the earth is round. Like,
Come here and
that's
say
just-
if you come here and you say the earth is flat, or Michelle's an anti-Semite,
Yeah.
bye-bye, no interest.
like the thing is, like, I can't even get mad about that because it's just like it's so fundamentally untrue. Also, people are saying that my connection is bad again. If you were watching the stakes on Thursday night, my connection was bad, and I look like I have Vaseline on my camera. If that's happening again, I'm so sorry. There's nothing I can do about it. I don't know how to fix it. So, anyways,
Yeah. So
if you can hear me, that's great. And I'm sorry if I look like I'm in a steamy shower. So
the steamy shower actually sounds like
doesn't that sound great? Because it's like cold and rainy out today.
cold and rainy. We're like headed for some crazy.
Yeah, like a nor'easter or something's coming around.
Yeah, it's gonna be a nice drive back to
Yeah.
New York for me tomorrow, but we'll see.
Is this Kevin Cox? Is this Attack Michelle Day? Apparently. But you know what? You know what? I do not care. I do not
Michelle,
care.
guys, Michelle's had a tough. Michelle has been, just to put in perspective, Michelle has a tremendous amount of shit going on at Seneca. Michelle's been producing this show and over it, and Michelle has spent I don't know how many days and sleepless nights getting ready to launch our morning show on Monday. So can we just cut Michelle a break?
I know. It's just like Jesus Christ.
Maybe for this weekend. Like, I'm not suggesting you cut Michelle a break every day, but maybe
No,
just
but like, if I'm,
Michelle a break.
it's just like I can't. Like, it's just I can't. And if you guys even knew, like we're working with this other organization trying to put some stuff out too for No Kings next weekend. Which got dropped in our lap on Monday, and I was not expecting that. And I was trying to finish the Code Red video, and which was taking me forever. And then on top of it, which is fun. Like, listen, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's like been a lot, and this is the life of trying to do startup work in a time where your country's collapsing, and it's this stuff is heavy, it's difficult, and we're all just trying to survive.
Yeah.
So, and it's actually funny because I've been trying to find like stuff to post on our socials, like as I'm trying to. Oh, and I'm running all the Mayday socials.
Yeah.
I wanted to show this, and while we're on the topic of Trump grifting, this ad is running on Newsmax several times a day. So I just want to show this to you.
What is it?
I think it's funny. Like, I laugh at this. People are probably gonna get annoyed, but like I think this is actually very funny, because this man he does not give a shit. Like, he's the most phoning it in person ever, and I find it entertaining.
Hello, everyone.
Oh wait, hold on.
President Donald J. Trump, and it's Trump time. Check out this red beauty. It's one of my new watches. Wear it proudly on your wrist, and everyone will know exactly what it's for, who it represents. It's really going to be something special. It's for your favorite president. Get your watch today at gettrumpwatches.com. These make a great gift. It's Trump time.
It's Trump time, Julie.
Hello.
The signature, which again resembles, all that makes me think about is the signature on Epstein's Christmas card or 50th birthday
I know. It's Trump time. Hello, it's your president, Donald J. Trump. Get your watches, get your red ones. It's just like,
that watch will be broken within 2 seconds.
oh, listen, if it even shows up at all, it's going to say rump on it, and it's going to be made of like bargain bin plastics.
And that's what it will be made in,
zirconia.
Made
Was
in
that?
China. Probably made in China,
Oh, 100% it is.
which he's threatening to put another 100% tariff on top of the tariffs he already has, which nobody can discern what those are, by the way, because he changes every day.
Yeah.
But
Well, and my friend Jason Selvig was on, if you guys know The Good Liars.
yeah,
Jason Selvig, I've known, we went to college together. I've known him a long time. He was on Jim Acosta's show the other day, and they were talking about Trump Tower. And he was like, well, I don't know if you've been inside Trump Tower, but let me just tell you, that place is classy. It's not classy. If you're ever in New York, go walk inside Trump Tower. Go walk in, see the lobby. It is the biggest piece of crap, like plastic, like nothing is like everything is low budget. It is a low budget lobby. It is a low budget building. It's crap. And everything he does is crap.
Yeah, I actually, I don't know if I ever told you the story, but when I was first moving to New York, I was looking all over. I didn't know what neighborhood I really wanted to move to. And my realtor was like, why don't we look at the Trump buildings, the Trump branded buildings
Oh,
along
the ones on Riverside Boulevard?
Yeah. And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't really like that neighborhood. It's kind of not
It's
close.
also like so far from the subway.
It's so
like,
far from the subway. Like it wasn't my cup
Yeah.
of tea. He's like, let's just go look. They're a good deal. And I was like, well, whatever. Fine, I'll go look.
there's a couple that aren't Trump buildings, but like it's like 98% Trump buildings, right?
No, not anymore. Now they've developed these.
Oh, okay. My old boss lived at like 100 Riverside Boulevard, and hers was like the only one that didn't have a Trump sign
No,
on it.
now they've built out that whole neighborhood with some pretty incredible.
Oh, that's
buildings.
nice.
Really
I haven't been
amazing.
over there in a long time.
But yeah, but this was like 20 years. I don't remember, like more than 20 years ago, probably. And so I'm looking, and you walk into these Trump buildings, and I'm not kidding. I'm not a big girl. If I had put my fist, not even through the wall, but if I put my fist next to the wall, it would collapse. It is the cheapest shit you would ever see. But of course, with all this gilded and not real gold, everything was like gilded.
Gilded is a good word for that. Yes.
Everything was Timu Tower. Yeah, it was so
Team
crazy. So I mean, yeah, but he just the White House is beyond disgusting. That's not right.
Tacky. Tacky is another good word. BJG says tacky. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So it's just gross. The whole thing is disgusting.
It is disgusting.
Michelle, I feel like you and I should probably go and get ready for we have a lot of work we have to do to get.
We do. Can I show us one thing really quick?
Yes.
It's the last thing I want to talk about just really briefly about the Nobel Peace Prize, because Trump has been begging and threatening and won't shut up about how much he wants. And listen, it's just another example of him wanting a trophy or a shiny thing, and he'll steal it, or he's just like, he's a tacky, cheap ass mofo. And I'm going to play just of not the whole thing of this, but this is the head of the Nobel Prize laureate person or whatever, calling Maria. Do you know what's her name? Maria from
Venezuela.
From Venezuela. This is him calling her to let her know.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes?
Yes.
Hello?
Am I talking to Maria Corina Machado?
Yes, this is Maria Corina.
Yes, Maria Corina. My name is Christian Berghardt Piken. I am the secretary of the Norwegian Nobel Committee in Oslo. And I'm calling to inform you that in a few minutes, it shall be announced here at the Nobel Institute that you will be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for 2025.
Oh my God.
So the warmest congratulations to you, Maria.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, I have no words. I thank you so much, but I hope you understand this is a movement. This is a achievement of a whole society. I am just one person. I certainly do not deserve this. Oh my God.
I think both the movement and you deserve it. So I'm sure this comes as a surprise, and I'm sorry to have to wake you up in the middle of the night to convey this. We don't have much time. We actually are making the announcement just in a few minutes. But I want to quote just shortly from the text that will be announced shortly, where it is said that you are receiving the prize for, and here I quote directly from the announcement, for her tireless work promoting democratic rights for the people of Venezuela and for her struggle to achieve a just and peaceful transition from dictatorship to democracy.
I'm honored, humbled. I am very grateful on behalf of the Venezuelan people. We're not there yet. We're working very hard to achieve it, but I'm sure that we will prevail. And this is certainly a biggest recognition to our people that certainly deserve it. So thank you very much. Thank you.
So I wanted to play that for all the reasons. And her work trying to help the people of her country transition from a dictatorship to a democratic country, which is not for the faint of heart and is a very dangerous thing. And you can hear the humility in her voice and the shock to receive such an honor. Now, I want to just juxtapose that. Later that day, Donald Trump stood at a podium in the White House and made up some lies, of course, and said this.
And today called me and said that I'm accepting this in honor of you because you really deserved it. The person who
here we go.
actually got the Nobel Prize called me and said that I'm accepting this in honor of you because you really deserved it. That a very nice thing to do. I didn't say then give it to me though. I think she might have. She was very nice. And I've been helping her along the way. They need a lot of help in Venezuela. It's a basic disaster. So, and you could also say it was given out for 24, and I was running for office in 24. All of the transactions that we did in terms of closing. But there are those that say we did so much that they should have done it. But I don't take. I'm happy because I saved millions of lives. Many.
He is lying.
Well, so what she said was she did thank him because she understands that he actually wants regime change in Venezuela and she wants him to go in there and get rid of Maduro. And she did exactly what I would have done in her shoes, which is if your goal is to get rid of Maduro and have regime change, you suck up to Trump and you tell him he deserves it, and you tell him
this is what everybody has to do.
That's what you have to do, right? It's an absurd exercise. But I will also say this. What she is doing in Venezuela, and this is going to sound incredibly crazy on the face of what I'm about to say, but when you think about it and sit with it for a little bit, it may be that you agree with me, is what we are all doing here in the United States. The country is turning into a dictatorship. And all of us, much like she has, must do everything possible to fight back against that. And what we need, eventually, somebody in the United States is going to get a Nobel Peace Prize for exactly the reason.
The same thought crossed my mind, Julie.
Right?
The same thought.
The message was not just to Venezuela. The message by the Nobel Committee was to people here and in Russia and other places, Iran, other places where they're being oppressed and they're being just completely destroyed. But, and I wrote a Substack on this. I don't want to belabor it, other than to say you don't get a Nobel Peace Prize when you are turning guns against people.
Right. Trump is doing what she's trying to undo in her country, is what he's doing to us.
But take a page out of her book, because we will all eventually, when she said, I'm getting this on behalf of a movement, somebody somewhere in this country will eventually get that Nobel Peace Prize. And the point is, whoever that person is will be doing it on behalf of all of us. Somebody, it's not going to be an elected official. Somebody's going to rise up. I don't know how, I don't know where, I don't know when, but we can no longer sit by passively as we see what's happening, as we see people separated from their children, children zip-tied, and
dragged from their homes,
naked.
A journalist from WGN in Chicago was pulled out of her car yesterday, and cuffed and arrested.
And
For no reason.
a Presbyterian minister had a pepper ball shot at his head when he was praying with his arms out for the ICE agents, who then shot him with a pepper ball. And that's just one, the No Kings rally is fine. I've said this before. The No Kings rally is fine. Go do what you need to do. But this is not a show up to a rally once every couple of months situation. And, that's why we're launching this network. That's why we're launching the morning show. We're doing our part. That's why Michelle hasn't slept in 27 days and not able to deal with any trolls who tell her to stop looking at her phone or to call her horrible, ridiculous names.
Stupid.
Yeah, stupid. We're all working our asses off to make sure that we have a movement, that we're part of a movement that will just excise this cancer from our country, and we got our country back.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, one day that man or somebody like him from Norway will be calling somebody in this country and giving them the Nobel Peace Prize.
It gives me chills just to think about it. I mean,
and that person will
good
say,
ways and bad ways.
and that person will say, I'm doing it on behalf of a movement, and that movement is us.
Yep. And to that, I will say also, to get our country back, every single corner of our country, whether it be science or the arts or free speech or our military, or, I mean, the list goes on. And I say that and I'm just going to throw this up. Cheryl Gay Stolberg from the New York Times tweeted last night, Friday night massacre underway at the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control. Dozens of disease detectives, high-level scientists, entire Washington staff, and editors of the MMWR, which is the Morbidity and Mortality Weekly Report, have all been fired. And I say that, and this will be the last thing I say, my wonderful friend at the CDC, who has been there for many, many, many years, she is an infectious disease expert, has been serving this country for many years, through COVID, through the AIDS crisis and Zika virus, everything you could possibly think of. She was fired last night. My heart is broken for her. This is her life's work. She could have been probably making a shit ton of money working in pharma or in the private sector, but she hasn't.
Well, I hope she does now.
Well, I hope she does now too. And it was her former bosses who resigned and everything. It happened a few weeks back. Those were her former bosses. And the CDC isn't like a huge place with like a lot of people. And, this again was the people at the CDC, like 180 something bullets were blasted into the windows of the building where they work. They were all traumatized during the first Trump administration because of what happened during COVID. The list goes on and on. So I just want to give a shout out to her. I'm not going to say her name, but she is a wonderful person. She's so smart and an honorable public servant. And my heart breaks for her that she lost her job last night. Not just because now she's unemployed, but because of what that represents. And she no longer can serve the American people in her in her expertise. So anyways, I just wanted to say that.
Yeah. I mean, what is there to say other than this country is fucked by this man? Sorry. I do have to go because my son lost tournament and he keeps calling me to let me know how he did. And I'm a horrible mom because I'm here talking about this.
No.
But this is important, you guys.
You do it for him. You do it for him.
Yeah. Like I'm not at a tournament with my son this weekend because I think that this is important, right? We're doing this every morning, bringing it live to you at 8 a.m. It doesn't mean that we're getting up at 8 a.m. It means that we're going to get up and go to bed really late every night and get up really early to bring you the show for an hour. Join us. Truly, please do that. And that's it. And we will see you. We'll see hopefully all of you either live or on repeat. I'm right back here on Mayday Monday through Friday, starting this Monday with our friend Frederick Pogue. We hope you join us for our new show that dropped last Wednesday will drop every Wednesday at 4 p.m. called Touch Grass.
Mhm.
Just take an hour or so to just talk about stuff that has nothing to do with politics, so we could literally touch grass. The stakes on Thursday
At
with
Seneca Project.
Seneca Project, not on Mayday. My shows with Olga Lautman on Tuesdays at 12:30 on Substack, and on 11 a.m. all Eastern on Substack on Thursdays. And we're going to continue to bring you guys more programming.
Yep.
So thank you for the great feedback on Touch Grass. We had so much fun doing it. Frederick is hilarious, which is why we wanted to bring the show. And that's that. We will see everybody on Monday, hopefully. Bye.
Yep.
Have a great weekend.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Yep.